Hey, what's up everybody? It's Tom from tomsgolddirt.com, and today I'm going to show you my latest product on the website. This is a product that I've thought about for a long time. I believe that you should always be prepared for any situation as a Boy Scout. What I've created here is a product that I believe will serve you well in the field. If you are to go prospecting, hiking, anything, a day trip, whatever the case may be. I've put a lot of thought into this. I've tested some of this stuff to, this InstaFire here is one of those products that I would trust my life to it. I've tested one of these. These are something else I would trust my life to. But anyway, let me get to the point here and show you what we have. This is going to be the Tom's Gold Dirt EK emergency kit. So it's just an emergency kit. You don't use it for anything else. However, I will say that some of this stuff does expire in time. These sugar candies would be good till 19 years from now. But the chocolate bar and the animal crackers, which again, these are all well thought out things, and I'll explain them in detail later. You have a whistle with a compass. Now this isn't the bottom of the barrel. This is actually a fairly quality product that reads true. As you see there, it found north, and it is right. The next thing here is the little emergency kit, or I'm sorry, first aid kit I put together. And again, this is general, first aid. Just you fall, you scratch your knee, you need to clean it, and you need to bandage it. You'll have two gauze pads, and an assortment of Band-Aids in here. It's just general first aid. It's not, something it could save your life from infection, but it's not a, high dollar, first aid kit, but I just thought of what you would need. And I'm trying to be as cost effective as possible again too, so that this is something I want you to have it, and that's why we're doing things the way we're doing here. I've got two little spools of wire here, and those are a multi-purpose item. You can use them to create a snare. You can use them to lash onto something, if you need to lash your book bag together, or you could figure out many things you can do with these. You can even use these for a belt. I don't recommend it, but you can. And again, they're basically, good for making snares in an emergency situation. You can use them to help hold together some leads to make a shelter, so on and so forth. Emergency blankets are an essential item. In my kit, I always have one. They help you conserve up to 90% of your body heat. That in and of itself will save your life, and I think it's something you should consider always having with you. And relatively inexpensive. I think you can get them for around $2. But you can get them in this kit, which is a well thought out and in its entirety. So then you have 25 feet of paracord. 25 feet of paracord can be used for endless things. You can even break down the fibers of paracord if it was the ends were exposed. There's actually 9. I won't say that to be accurate on these, but in the military paracord, there's 9 or 10 white fibers inside, and you can use those for fishing line or anything. This is called paracord. I got a good deal on it. So 25 feet of paracord, coffee and sugar. It's a morale boost. It's a little boost of caffeine. It'll get you through a hot or a cold night if you have a fire and you have a container. This kit does not include a container to boil water in. You could technically use the bag that it comes in, or any of these baggies, I guess, to contain water. But that is something you should always have on your person as any trip out into the wilderness or whatever. You should always have a container of water. But you'd have coffee. Even if you had to drink it cold, it'd be better than nothing. A fishing kit. Now this is actually pretty well thought out. As you see in there, you got you a little jig, little crappie / trout jig. The one thing that you might have to do if you buy one of these kits is poke the hole through the jig head. You know, if you've ever fished for anything that you use a jig on, sometimes they get paint over the jig hole, but there's 2 hooks, 2 sinkers, roughly 15 to 20 feet of line, and 1 jig in there, which should help you in an emergency situation if you're near a body of water that could contain your next meal. This is obviously a pocket knife, which is why this kit requires you to be 18 years old. I'm not going to get into the legalities of that, but this whole kit's a choking hazard, so that is known. It'll be on the description of the website as well that it is a choking hazard. I don't want to get sued over this stuff, so yeah. This is actually the best deal I could find on a I refer to them as a disposable emergency pocket knife. This isn't a knife that I would put my life's in its hands or anything along those lines, but this knife will serve its purpose in helping you, open those things, or if you need to cut something, it'll do its job as a very inexpensive option. But that's the item number 2 that I feel anybody that goes into the wilderness should be carrying is a good knife. This is a backup. This is not intended to be an EDC kind of situation, but it will perform. I went through several different ones. I found knives even for $1, but as soon as you do this, and I don't push too hard because I don't want to break them, but as soon as I did this, one of them almost broke. Now, if you push super hard, this one will break. It's not, like I say, it's not a superb quality. It's a Chinese-made Ozark Trail $2 folding knife. So it's not going to last forever, but in a pinch, it's the best tool you have if you don't have anything else. A flashlight. Now, these flashlights are orange, just like paracord, because if you drop them, you're going to want to find them. These are LED, and they have a thing inside that keeps them from working right now. When you buy them and you get them in your kit, you unscrew the back and you take out that little thing that says remove before use, and then you have a nice little light. If you get lost in the dark, it'll be a good thing to have. Now, again, this is another one of those things. This is a very cheap light, and if I'm so fortunate, I'll get it shut here. It's not intended to be an everyday thing. It could be utilized for whatever you want, but again, it's an emergency thing, and that's what it's intended for. So next on the, I'm going to leave that over there. 2 tea light candles. Why tea light candles? Why not? I think tea light candles, serve a great purpose in a survival kit. One, you can light these and then light a fire. So if you're limited on capacity of strikes per match, 1 strike per match, obviously, but any which way, I feel like these are something that should be in your kit. They don't last for everything. They're 30-minute candles, 20-minute candles, whatever. But it's better than the thing you don't have. And obviously, it can serve multi-purposes for cooking something. If you had to, I think it's possible you could. Never mind. Forget I said that. I don't think you could cook something with one of these. But again, it's to get the next better thing. Always improve your foxhole. If you have to, you can light one of these and build up a bundle of wood around it, and it'll continue to burn, dry out that wood, and then light it, and it'll be a fire. So that's another thing in the kit. Next, before last, 10 storm-proof matches and a striker. These are good quality. You get 10 of them because redundancy is key. You don't know how many of them are going to work when you need them to work, so I throw 10 in there. These are pretty effective. I don't think you'd need all 10 of them in a one-day overnighter, but in case you do, you've got 10 of them. And lastly, some calories. Calories are an important thing, and the reason I chose the items in this kit is thinking back to MREs. MREs always had stuff in them to raise your morale, and in a survival situation, I feel morale is your best friend. So You know, once you get your fire going, you can kick back. I'm sorry, I'm moving here. You can kick back and enjoy a candy bar or some animal crackers. Or I would, you know, use these as a little morale boost as well. They're the just hard candies there. It's got sugar, it's fat, it'll get you through a night. It's not a lot of calories. I believe this whole kit's probably only about 200 calories. But it is better than nothing. And again, it's going to help you get through a tough night. So again, this whole kit is basically a necessity for an emergency. I mean, it literally is, you know, worst case scenario, you need to be able to survive. And this kit, I think, will help you do that. Now, again, there are kits out there that cost a ton of money that'll help you do that a lot better. But as a guy on a budget, I know there are a lot of folks out there on a budget who don't have the time to think through this scenario or this stuff here and figure out what exactly could you run into. You know, you could slip, fall, and cut your leg open. You know, you might need a bandage. You might need a means to start a fire. You just never know what you're going to encounter. And again, this is going to not be a high price point, so you're not, you know, it may be over, it may be excessive. As it stands, it may be excessive, you know. Thinking about this snare wire as I sit here, you know, are you going to really need it for a snare? Probably not, but it will come in handy as a means to, you know, lash something together. You've only got 25 feet of rope, so this extra 10 feet of wire can help in certain ways as well. The best thing I think of when I think of this is a means. You can run this through, if you're so fortunate to catch fish, you can run this through a fish's gills as like a stringer. Now you could probably do the same with that, but again, yeah, I think this kit is going to be, you know, a great kit for a good value, and I'll comment below the price and everything because I want to make sure I do that accurately, and I'll do that once I get back to the computer and whatnot. But let me know what y'all think of this, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks a lot.